So it's no secret that if you're like most artists, you take a lot of inspiration from the things you see. So like in movies or in TV. But I think that the most inspiration, and I'm biased here, but the best inspiration comes from today's topic, which is anime. If you're watching this video right now and you don't watch anime, hopefully by the end of this, I can convince you to start or at least try out just like an episode or two. So yes, this video will be mainly focused on anime and how it can be used as a source of inspiration for you to draw or paint. Now I could talk about this all day, right? I'm pretty sure anybody can, but I'm gonna try to keep the list to as few things as possible, just because I don't want this video to run over like an hour or two of just me like going over all the great things that anime has to offer us. But let's go ahead and start to get into this. The first thing I want to go over is the simplified designs that the creators have for the characters in the shows. Even though the design of the characters stray away from realism, it still conveys very believable faces and anatomy. And it also somehow manages to throw in very complex details, especially in the eyes. I think, if I remember correctly, I was reading something online, but for anime companies, the main focus, which I mean is the main amount of money that they put into production, actually goes into the eyes of the characters. You can quote me if I'm wrong on that, but I do remember reading that from somewhere. I personally started watching anime probably in 2020. So, like 4 years ago. So I didn't grow up watching it. But just because I started late, I mixed in some old shows in with some new shows so I could experience both, not just one-sided. But even if it's not the characters themselves, the backgrounds also have a very beautiful and just aesthetically pleasing look. The use of colors to convey a certain mood or tone for a specific scene, down to the tiniest detail. I'm literally talking about like raindrops. Like they really go super detailed into when they're creating these backgrounds. Like honestly, I don't know how they draw up some of this stuff, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, just literally look up any Demon Slayer fight and you'll see what I mean. Look, you can literally find manga artists' sketches online all over the internet, literally from ground up, start to finish, on how they draw and design their characters. You just ain't looked it up yet. But even when we're not blown away by the design and the details and the vibrant, beautiful colors, you still have the complex background stories for the actual characters. And some of these stories, man, they can get real dark. But I also love it because you get to see their internal struggles and you see the progress from where the characters first started off and how they ended up being later on in the show. And typically with darker characters, they have a good heart. It's just they're placed in a rough situation. It doesn't matter what genre you like, there's an anime for it. An example would be, right, character, the first time you see them, they're usually like this kind of shy, kind of like nerdy type of guy. But then like some like terrible situation happens with them, right? And now they're put into a situation to where in order to protect the ones that they love, the ones that they hold close to their heart, they have to go against their own morals and become stronger in order to protect those people that they love. Even if it means hurting others in the process or having to take the lives of people that are endangering their loved ones. But that's just one story. There are thousands of different stories out there that can suit literally any of your interests. This is just something that I usually gravitate towards, but there are literally thousands of other different stories out there that you can watch. Look, if you're not convinced to start watching by this point, I can't help you. Anime also teaches us about life lessons. It shows us how not every decision is black and white. Like sometimes I'll be watching a show and then it's hard to kind of determine like what's morally right and what's wrong, because you understand where the main character is coming from, but then it's like the side characters are the antagonists. They come into play and they'll do something crazy, and then you're sitting there thinking like, okay, if I was the main character, shoot, I would do the same thing that he's doing right now. Like, it gets really crazy. I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to spoil anything, but what I'm getting at is anime forces you to change your perspective on how you view certain aspects of the world. Look, I'm gonna give y'all a little secret. If you want to watch some free anime online, look up 9anime.com. You didn't hear it from me, but look up 9anime.com. And it has a whole list of everything that you want to see for free. But you didn't hear from me. Somebody's about to cancel me for this. To make this make a little bit more sense, for those of you that actually do watch anime, think back to what Eren did in Attack on Titan, right? Now think about the statement I just made. Another thing that anime does very well is it shows the relationships between characters, and they really go deep into their stories and show how the people that we interact with in our daily lives really do make a significant difference in our life decisions. We've all heard this saying before: the people that you're around influence you the most. If you want to change yourself, you got to change your environment. We drop in gems, that's what we do. All right, last thing I want to talk about here is how anime could also help you figure out what type of style you want to go for, right? Because finding your style is such a popular topic, right, for the artist community. But I feel like with anime, it really can help shape the design of your characters and how you want certain things to look. I feel like a popular style that people tend to go for nowadays is a mix of realism and anime, but some of y'all don't watch anime. So I feel like if, you just start watching an episode or two, like literally just start watching a few shows, I think that could really help you out in terms of designing your characters and how you want to throw in certain details and what details you want to leave out. Now, me personally, I leave out details all the time. It's not called being lazy. I'm just avoiding unnecessary paint strokes, saving a bunch of time. And where did I get that idea from? You guessed it, anime. But if you want to be super detailed, you can. You could do that. There's no rules to this. You could do whatever you want. You could draw and paint whatever you like. I'm just a guy giving advice. But hopefully some of this made sense to y'all and you were able to learn something today. So that's all I got to say for this video. If you liked the video, go ahead and share it. Other than that, I'm out.